Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and this is the Gameweek 19 live deadline stream. Joined tonight with special guest Quinton from FPL Amateurs of Oz. It's definitely not his first appearance on the channel this season. He's back in his Man United shirt, which we will allow because it's Christmas, and Man United obviously have lost a couple of games, so we're happy for him to wear his shirt tonight. But Q will we'll intro you again in a sec. If you've just joined the stream, you can just give the video a like, subscribe if you're new, and get all of your questions and comments in for today's deadline. It is in 1 hour, so make sure you get your teams locked in. But Q, you're in the United shirt. How was your Christmas, mate? And you looking forward to more FPL?
Yeah, no, my Christmas is a lot better than Manchester United's. I can tell you that much. So, it's been really good. And as you said, the fixtures are fast and flowing. We just finished the last game week yesterday. We're back into another game week. So, I was pretty happy with how my week went. But I know people that weren't too happy. So, it's not too bad of a turnaround for them to sort of, clean slate and go for the massive points again this week.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's what it's all about at this time of year. Is you get a deadline, and if you don't do well, you get another deadline literally within a day or so, and then you get another one in a day or so. So, it's exciting, and it's definitely a good chance to get some quick points. Let's bring up some comments. Zada, welcome to the stream, mate. I'm doing well, mate. Obviously, another FPL deadline, and looking forward to a few days of games, and then we'll have another one on the weekend. FPL Roo, hope you're good, mate. I think he's over in New Zealand at the moment, so it'll be a few hours ahead of us now. So I'm assuming their kickoffs will be even later than what you'd get on the east coast of Australia.
The third biggest Spurs fan on the pod, behind me, number one, and you, number two.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're the biggest Spurs fan, mate, especially with Ange. I had no idea that Pavlova come from New Zealand. There you go. I had no idea. Talking of Kiwis, Christian is on the stream, lives in England, but I'm pretty sure he's from New Zealand. Great to have him on in the comments. But we'll go through this week's fixtures. We'll do the usual score prediction, best players from each fixture, and answer all the questions that come in. So make sure you get them in. Before we do, Q, we'll just do a quick wrap up of the last game week. How did you go, mate? I think you had a pretty strong game week, didn't you, in game week 18?
Yeah, I think I finished on 60 points, and that gave me a nice little jump in the ranks. I think I was 700k up to about 480, I think, or 500k. I finished the week. Wow. So on the back of my, I think it was 86 the week before. It's 2 strong weeks, and hoping for 3 straight weeks where I can sort of keep climbing. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my team. I think I took a -4 last week, and it paid off again this week, so I'm happy.
Oh, nice one, mate. Yeah, it's a good score, 68. I think I went in at 51 points, so you actually got quite a bit more than me. I ended up with about 51, but I still managed a green arrow just about. And it was a decent game week. I've shot up to around 175k, which obviously is since the wild card a couple of months ago. I don't know how I'm getting the points or how I'm getting the green arrows. It doesn't feel like I've had too many big stand-up performers other than probably Son at times. It's sort of been one of my main ones, but and then Anthony Gordon's had his moments. But yeah, talking of Anthony Gordon, let's go through the Newcastle Forest game. First game on. So we are hoping to see if we can get some early team news on this throughout the stream. So Q will do his work in the background to see if he can find some team news for us in the next hour on the stream. So we'll see what he can do. An early Christmas present late Christmas present from Q is to find the team news for us. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. But we'll bring up the comments and the questions in a sec. So keep getting your questions in. Give the video a like, subscribe if you're new. But we'll quickly round up this game. Forest have obviously got Nuno in now. High scoring game in the last game week. Newcastle have so many injuries. So I think Forest will actually go out and try and win this game. But it is a tough game. When you come in from Christmas on Boxing Day and you've got to go up to Newcastle, that is a really, really tough fixture to go to. So, but I can feel like there's going to be goals. I'm actually going to go with I'm going to go with the 2-2 in this one. I don't know. I think Forest will come up fighting, and I'm liking Callum Wilson in this fixture for Newcastle, and then for Forest, I might go with FPL Roo. He's watching the stream. I might go with his pick of Chris Wood maybe for this one because he actually got a goal and an assist in the last game week. So I'll go 2-2. I think Wilson's the pick for me, mate, for this one. What are you thinking on this one, Q?
Yeah, no, I was looking because Wilson should start, but Isak actually last fixture actually didn't do too bad. I think he had the 2 goals. So I think that's almost whoever plays up top, I think, is going to have a great chance of scoring. So I think Wilson, I'm comfortable he should start this week. So I like that pick. I think he's a great pick. And I don't mind the look of Almiron. He's not been getting massive returns, but he's been getting into great positions, and they found him in the last couple of weeks, and he's been on the end of, some good teamwork from Newcastle, but he's been finishing the chances, and he looks dangerous every time he gets into that 18-yard box. So I don't mind Almiron as a bit of a differential pick there as an enabler for people that are, not wanting to go Gordon and wanting to go someone else in that midfield area.
What do you think the score's going to be?
I'm going to say 2-0 to Newcastle. I think they can get the job done. They've, not had the greatest of results the last sort of, 5 game weeks, but I think this is a fixture they can get something out of. And I like Alanga from Nottingham
he's done
Forest.
well. Ever since you actually mentioned him on the last podcast you come on, you spoke about Alanga. He's actually returned quite a few times.
Yeah, I had a question today from a guy in my inbox asking if Alanga was an option. I said, I don't mind it. They've got, 2 harder fixtures next week and the week after, but after that, their fixtures aren't too bad. So he's a nice little enabler as well, but there's probably a few other picks this week if you're looking at someone just for this week that probably a bit better.
No, nice one, mate. I like the Almiron pick as well. We'll go through some comments. WB, hope you're well, mate. He's asked, shall I take a -4 for Richarlison or Foden in for a Dingra, or just start a Dingra or Bowen? Other option is Lascelles, but can't imagine he plays. I'd definitely start Bowen if that was the choice from all of them. I wouldn't take a hit to bring a player in and then bench Bowen. Like Bowen's just on fire at the moment and can score against anyone. So that's what I would do. And then with Lascelles, I'm not sure if he's definitely going to play, but you'd probably risk starting him and then hopefully you got some bench cover. But Q, what are your thoughts on this one? Yeah,
no, I agree with you. I think it'd be pretty hard to bench Bowen. Like I know that they've got Arsenal, but Arsenal I still think conceded a fair few chances last game week and probably should have conceded. But I like the Bowen pick. I think he definitely should start this week and have a good chance of getting points. Him and Kudus have been unreal for West Ham lately. So but if you were wanting to do the -4, I'd maybe look at Brendan Johnson over Richarlison, even though Richarlison is in form, and we've seen the Everton days when he does score 1 or 2, he hits that purple patch of form. But I think Brendan Johnson has showed that his fitness is, where it needs to be, and he created so many chances and could have had more attacking returns the other day. So I like him a bit better than Richarlison. But -4, you got to weigh it up whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah, I like the Johnson pick. We'll go through that when we do the Spurs game. But he's a really good cheap pick. Zada's just mentioned his team. So he's got Areola, Dubravka. He's got all his defenders there, midfielders. 1 transfer and 6.4 million in the bank. What to do? I think with that, it's quite like, for me, that's a Tsimikas to Trent move. Or so then he can play like Carlos, Trent, Porro, or he can play Saliba, Trent, Porro. Or he could play a back 4 and then he could go with a midfield 4 of Salah, Saka, Parmesan, and then just the 2 forwards of Watkins and Isaac. I reckon it's Trent in for Tsimikas. What do you reckon on that, Q?
Well, with Palmer, he's out this week with the 5th yellow card, so he won't play.
Oh, God, he is, isn't he? Yeah, okay. So he could just play a Dingra, go 4 at the back. I still think Palmer's worth keeping, and then Tsimikas is injured anyway.
It's interesting because 6.4 on the bank, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he'd be trying to get to Haaland for next week. If you're in the comments still, maybe just let us know. But if you're not sort of worried about getting to Haaland next week, you could definitely take Mobama out and go for like a Jesus or a Nkunku, who possibly could start this week. I think he played 30, 40 minutes off the bench the other day and actually looked good, got the goal in the sort of last 3 or 4 minutes. But yeah, I think if you're not tempted sort of trying to get to Haaland next week, I actually don't mind moving Mubama, out with that extra coin and sort of picking like a Jesus up or even a Wilson, like you mentioned. Yeah, or a Solanke, yeah. I think there's a few options there.
And that leads us to Bournemouth Fulham. Again, I think Solanke and is it Sensi, the defender, I think are probably the best picks for me, and Tavernier. I think the defensive pick is pretty strong. Solanke as well. Not sure how long term some of these Bournemouth assets are with the tougher fixtures, but for this game, they're my favourite picks. And then Fulham have still got a couple like Castagna, Harry Wilson have looked quite good, I think, lately. So they're probably kind of my Fulham picks. And I do think there'll be goals. I think both teams will score. But I'll back Bournemouth to come out and win this one by 2-1. Q, what do you think on this one? Is there anyone else we need to keep an eye out for from either team? And what's your score prediction?
No, I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head with those picks. Solanke he's a must for this week. And, I'm actually tempted maybe looking at a bit of a captaincy shout for this game for Solanke because, you've got Salah, you've got Son, you've got, I think someone mentioned in the comments, Trippier as well, Trent as well. But I actually don't mind Solanke in this fixture. And, looking at their last 2 fixtures, there's been 4 goals in one game, 3 goals in the other game, and Solanke scored in both. So,
wow, okay, big start.
Yeah, so I think that and just the form that he's in at the moment, he's looked incredible. So, I think I wouldn't even surprise me if we woke up tomorrow morning, if you're not getting up for the games, and you see that Solanke's got 2 goals and 3 bonus in this fixture. So, I actually don't mind. I've got the vice captaincy on Solanke at the moment, but I'm tempted to go the captaincy in this fixture.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say Bournemouth. I say Bournemouth 3-2. I think there's going to be lots of goals. Yeah,
lots of goals. Yeah, you do tend to get quite a few goals on Boxing Day because teams are coming off Christmas, and it's just something in the air around this time of year. We'll bring up some comments and then we'll go through some more fixtures. FPL Roo considering changing his name to FPL Kiwi. I found the same hat I wear in my videos, but with a Kiwi bird on it. That'd be pretty cool, actually. I don't think there's too many. There's a few New Zealand accounts, but there's no FPL Kiwi. So that'd be pretty cool. Christian's asked, after my wildcard last week, my free transfer was Samikas to Pinnock, which interesting pick. I don't mind that. I don't mind that one. FPL Roo wants to be called FPL Bulldog when he moves back to England. It's not a bad name either, actually, FPL Bulldog. But no, FPL Roo is a quality name, and the logo as well. Okay, so WB says a hesitation to start Bowen as double Arsenal defense. I used to think I never used to like my forwards playing against my defenders, but now I just look at it and think, defenders can get attacking returns anyway, even if their clean sheet gets wiped out. So, not too fussed on that one. Let's go. We'll do these next couple of questions that come in. Keep getting your questions in. Give the stream a like and subscribe if you're new. FPL Roo said he's done Samikas to Trent and he's wildcarding next week. So next game week is your last chance to use the first wildcard. So he's going to use that to get Haaland back. This is the thing with Haaland. I'm still not sure if he's going to definitely be back because I look at it and think, why would City bring Haaland back for Man City home, for Sheffield United home, when there's a turnaround time of 2-3 days max between this game week and the next one? I just don't see why City would bother bringing Haaland back, especially I feel like they'll just wait until the following game week, which is in 2 weeks, and do it then. But I guess you never know with Pep. But it's going to have to drop Salah or some of the wild cards. Salah likely to go. Thoughts? Is it too risky going without? I think you can get rid of one of them, Salah or Son, because they're playing in the AFCON and the Asia Cup. And I guess because he's wild card, and you probably do bring Haaland back, but he might not necessarily play, so you may end up having to start him, and then he might end up being on your bench anyway. But I think he's got to get rid of one of those midfielders just for this next month or so, and then find a way to bring at least one of them back at some point, because I think Salah's going to be someone that is a mainstay in our teams anyway. But what do you reckon on that one, Q?
Yeah, I think obviously with Salah and Son going to their international duty, I think that Salah will be back before Son as well. So I think Son's probably the one to go out of those two. Plus team value, if you're sort of wanting to keep that team value for the wild card, you keep Salah as well. But like you said of Haaland, I seen news that he's back kicking the ball at training, which is a good sign. So he could definitely start this week. But I think it's more he's a target for next week because you don't want to play him this week and have a weak bench and end up having to play like a Taylor against Liverpool who could end up on -1. In that
we say
fixture.
next week with Haaland, like literally that's the weekend. It's like a 2 or 3. It's not. It might even be like a day or so. Let me see when City. So City play Wednesday night in the UK, and then
they play Thursday morning for us, so it should be.
And then game week 20 is Saturday night. So yeah, they might look at it and think, let's start him on. Let's start him in the next game week. But I just look at it and think, I just can't see. I think if they win this game against Everton, I just don't see them wanting to bother risking Haaland. And I think they'll think, let's bring him and De Bruyne back fresh for game week 21, which is like the 15th of January.
I think Haaland will be on the bench this week. And I think, say, if things went to shit and they were down 1-0 with 15 minutes left on the clock, I have a feeling that he'd probably come on. But yeah, I think they'd wait till next week, to be honest. And that's why I've held off from getting him in this week just because I'm not 100% sure that he's going to start.
Yeah, I'm the same. But yeah, good question from Rue, and good answer from Q. Thoughts on Dubravka triple captain this week? If he's being serious, then I'd probably still say no. This could be one of those random ones where they kept the clean sheet and he makes like 10 saves. But yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be saving my triple captainship.
If it was Solanke triple captain, I'd entertain it. I'd be a bit more, but Dubravka, it could be 6 points. You could be looking at 6 points.
Yeah, not for me, that one. Let's do Sheffield United Luton quickly. For me, I think if Archer's on your bench and you need someone to play, I'd probably just play him against Luton rather than make a hit or make a change. I think he showed that obviously he scored in the last game week. There's always an opportunity that he grabs a return, but at the same time, whenever people start Jordan Archer, he just doesn't seem to do anything. But other than that, probably sort of leave it at that with this fixture. I'll go with a 1-1. Luton look like they've fired up lately, and Sheffield United have picked up form since they've got their new or their old/new manager back in. So yeah, 1-1 for me, and I'd probably start Archer. What do you reckon on this one, Q?
I'm going to say 1-0 to Luton. I'm not particularly interested or excited for this fixture. Looking at the history of this fixture, I think last time they played in the Championship last season it was 1-0, and then the returning fixture was 1-1, and I think they've had a 0-0 as well. So it's not screaming blockbuster for me, but I think Luton might be good enough to get the win here and just scrape away a 1-0 win.
Yeah, it'd be huge. If someone can come out of this game with 3 points, it'll be absolutely huge. Let's bring up some more questions. Christian, captaincy conundrum. He's on Son, Trippier an option, Newcastle poor form. So weighing up Son, Trippier, Bones, Solanke, or Elise for captain. Lots of good options there. If I was to pick from that bunch, I think I would go Solanke from that group. But then obviously you being a Spurs fan, it's tempting to stick with Son. I don't like to change captains last minute. But I think if I had to pick the strongest captain this week from that bunch, it's probably Solanke. What do you reckon, Q, on the best captains from that list?
I'd probably have a Solanke, Son, Trippier.
I think that's fair. They're all pretty good options. He's also mentioned Elise, but I'll probably I'll put him last of the bunch, although he does like to score big goals in sort of the big games. Zada, should I get rid of Isaac because of Wilson being back? Well, I'm just going to have a look now because there's this there's an FPL account that when Newcastle win the know that's pretty good with his team lineups, and he hasn't mentioned anything about Isaac just yet or Wilson. So it's a tricky one. I'd probably just hold and see if we can get some team news before deadline on that one. What do you reckon, Q? Because they could end up playing both strikers. Newcastle have done that before.
Yeah, and also I think we spoke maybe a month back when I last on your pod that Wilson and Isaac, whenever they're on the bench, they still get about 30 minutes and they still look like scoring. They either get goals or look like scoring. So, I mean, it is a frustration for people that own him just in case he does get benched. But if he does start, you could be laughing in a fixture like this.
No, I agree. And we've just had this comment as well, which I've seen from NFC Will on Twitter, that Lascelles is confirmed out. So for the manager that was asking earlier about Lascelles, you've got to bench him. He's not starting this game. Or you can sell him. So, yeah, it's time to get rid of Lascelles or at least bench him. Question for Abhinav, start Gahey or Saliba? Yeah, that's a tricky one because Chelsea are pretty poor. Don't score huge amounts of goals, but you probably still bat them at home to grab something, especially on Boxing Day sort of time. So I'd probably say Saliba maybe has slightly more of a goal threat in him, but I actually don't think there's much in this one because West Ham, like you said, like they attack games, so there is a chance that they score. But yeah, what do you reckon on this one, Q?
I'd have to go Saliba. We've seen in the past that he can play that sort of long pass into the box for the likes of Jesus and Saka for goals, and he could jag an assist, or this could be an off game for West Ham, which we've seen. They've had two good results, but they've also went two good results and two bad results. So this could be a fixture where it's not firing on all cylinders. They don't score a goal. Arsenal win 2-0 and you get the clean sheet. And, when they do keep the cleans, Saliba's pretty much top two for bonus most weeks and definitely has the opportunity for an attack and return as well.
No, good stuff, Q. And yeah, you're right. Saliba is like pretty big when it comes to the bonus points. Let's go on to Burnley-Liverpool. Not many people are giving Burnley much of a chance in this game, but they did win in their last game week. 2-0, impressive away at Fulham. But again, I don't think many of us will be starting any Burnley players or even Charlie Taylor this game week. It's all about Liverpool. Haven't won for a couple of games in the league, Liverpool, a couple of home draws. A lot of people are expecting them to win this one. Burnley play quite an open, attractive style. So Liverpool will look to capitalise on that. I do think Trent is a good transfer if you can afford to do it. I did mention earlier, I can't see Haaland playing again until game week 21. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. So I think use that money to bring in Trent. Captain probably him or Salah from this game if you want to captain a Liverpool player. Tsimikas is out of this game. There's probably not anyone else I would target. If you've got Darwin, I'd probably just keep him for this one. I think they'll play Darwin Núñez in this one. After obviously he didn't start in the last game week, but a lot of people have probably run out of patience with Darwin Núñez. But I will go with, I think Liverpool will win. It will be tricky, but I think they'll come out and win it at 3-0. I can see Trent coming out with some type of attack in return and bonus, and Salah grabbing a goal or two. So, yeah, I think Liverpool will find a way to win this one. I feel like they're due that win. We'll get Q to go through his summary in a sec. But just before, if you have just joined the stream, please give the video a like. Come onto the YouTube, watch on the YouTube and subscribe. Or get your question in the comments as well. We're about 36 minutes from deadline. So, yeah, come into the comments, ask some questions as we go through these fixtures. But Q, we'll get your thoughts on the Burnley-Liverpool game. Who are your sort of players that you're going to target? And do you have a preference as to who you'd pick if you had to choose between Trent and Salah as captain?
Well, I was just having a look at Trent because I'm sort of in the predicament where I've got that one free transfer left plus the money in the bank to sort of go to a Lamptey up to Trent. But I was just looking at his last 5 fixtures. So looking at his last 5 fixtures, he's had 28 chances created, which is absolutely ridiculous for a fullback.
Yeah, it's insane.
Had 6 shots, 2 assists, and out of the 5 games, he's hit max bonus 3 out of 5 games and hit bonus 4 out of 5 games, totaling 11 BPS points, which in a fixture like this, I could definitely see a clean sheet. Yeah,
7 returns in a row for Trent as well.
So this could be a fixture where Liverpool win 2-0, Trent gets an assist, ends up on about nearly 15 points. So I think he's definitely a viable captain option this week. And, I'd be tempted nearly over Salah. in this fixture because Trent has just looked incredible the last few weeks and probably should have had a few more attacking returns in those games where he's only got the one attacking return or he's just got the clean sheet and some bonus. So, I think he's a great pick. And I think there's a few people that have Nunez as well where it's frustrating because he does get a lot of chances, but he just doesn't put them away. But, in this fixture, you're not really tempted to move him out just because it's Burnley. And, we saw Gakpo start up top. So even if Nunez is on the bench, he's still going to get 20, 30 minutes at the end. So, but yeah, I think the main picks are Salah and Trent. But I think Trent probably just edges Salah for captaincy this week.
Yeah, Trent's showing that form that we all thought we were going to get at the start of the season when we, a lot of us had him in our start of season drafts, and now he's turning into that £8 million option that we all kind of thought he was going to be. So get on the Trent train if you can. Let's start bringing up some of the questions. We've had a lot of comments come in, so I'm going to start bringing them up now. So get them all in the comments. I think we'll prioritize questions over the fixtures. So keep getting them in. So Christian's starting Haaland after a few Twitter comments, but no way does he see him play until mid-Jan. I feel the same. Zaid's asked, Digne out for a -4. What do you think on this one, Q? Because unless Digne is out of the game, if he's not out of the game week, let me just double check with Villa. And if it looks like he's fit to play. I'd probably play him away at Man United. I think if you've got a fully fit Villa defender, especially Digne, he's quite creative. I'd probably just play him in that fixture. I think, with United's form, you've kind of got to attack them. You've got to play players against them. But what do you reckon? I probably wouldn't do that.
Depends who he's going to. If he was going to -4 to Trent,
that's different.
100%. Yeah. But depending on who you're going for, I think weigh it up because, like you said, United, we've looked pretty diabolical the last probably 3 to 4 weeks. But if you getting in a play similar to like a Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think definitely. But if it's just to go to maybe, I don't know, a Kyle Walker or something like that, or someone else like that, I probably wouldn't say it's worth it because there's every chance that they could keep a clean sheet against us. But I think, if you're going for I'd probably even say a -4 is worth it for Poro this week as well. So, I think Poro and Trent are probably the exception for the -4, but I think anyone outside of them, I probably wouldn't be doing it.
No, good stuff. I agree there with Q. We've already mentioned Lascelles is out. Talking to Pedro Porro, we've got a question, him or Archer from Sheffield United? It's got to be Porro. I think, obviously I'm a Spurs fan. Q is basically a Spurs fan, just in a Man United top. And I think, with Spurs getting Udogie back in this fixture, and they seem to have picked up a little bit more of their winning's coming back now, starting to win games again under Ange. Now players are back, suspensions are back, other than Basuma. They look like they're going on a little bit of a run again. Brighton have had a lot of injuries, hasn't quite clicked. Spurs actually have a pretty good record at the stadium as well. I feel like there's a potential clean sheet in this. If not, Porro is just due that goal and another attack and return. So for me, I'd start Porro, regardless of fixture. Porro's already got an upside, already shown in all the big games. He can still get points, even if Spurs concede. So, Pedro Porro for me over Archer. But Q, who would you play if you had to pick between these two?
I'd go Porro. And as I said, that Sheffield versus Luton game doesn't scream mass amount of goals. And I could definitely see Sheffield blanking in that fixture and sort of Luton getting that one goal and winning the game. So I'm going to say Porro. I think his upside and attack is sensational, and Brighton, they just haven't looked the same the last month. So every chance that Spurs could go in there, get a 2-0 win in that fixture, you're looking at 3 bonus, maybe an attack and return from Porro and a clean sheet. So I like Porro.
I like that, and I don't want to curse it too much, but I think Ange has the best away record in the league this season. He's only dropped a couple of games, which have been 3 games, which have been draws away at Brentford, City. Oh no, sorry, he did have the Wolves defeat. But I think he's won the most games.
It should have been a win, really. If we're being honest.
With the players that were out.
92 minutes, and they had the game won.
Yeah, that was That was disappointing with the injuries, but yeah, definitely Porro. We've got another question. What to do with Trippier after this game week? City and Liverpool next. I'm on this. If you've got a good, strongly well-balanced team, I think if you own Trippier, and I'd still keep him. I think because he's then going to have a good fixture swing after that, and I think Trippier is just someone you don't sell. Similar to Porro, I think Porro, Trippier are two defenders. Once you've got them, similar to Trent as well. You got to find ways to keep them unless you really need the funds. But yeah, what do you think on this one, Q? I don't actually own Trippier, so which is annoying because he's actually not owning Trippier has been really difficult at times. But yeah, I think if you've already got him, depends though, because if he doesn't do anything against Forest, you might be a bit more tempted to sell.
If you could go to a Porro or a Trent, use a bit of extra money, go up from Trippier to Trent. I actually like that option because, as you've seen, Trippier of late hasn't been great. Newcastle's defense hasn't been as good, but yeah, I guess it's more about the long game. So if you think that you can do without him on your bench, just have him on your bench for the next few fixtures. 100% do that because, like you said, he's a player when the fixtures are good. He's a minimum 9-point player most weeks, but
he's
also
unreal.
If you have the room and you can go without him for a few weeks and use that money to either downgrade or upgrade, I think you do that as well because I think Man City, Liverpool, their attacks are just too good to be playing sort of like a Trippier in those fixtures.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair assessment. If it means upgrading to Trent or making that move to Porro, then yeah, do it. But if you've already got one of the two of those, then I think Trippier is a sort of a keep. But WB with another question: who should he bench from his team? Or Lascelles, you definitely bench. Probably play Porro. Saliba, Zinchenko's his defence. Bowen, Son, Salah, Watkins, Solanke. I'd probably say Adingra and Lascelles this week.
Lascelles, is he out this week?
He's injured. Yeah, he's injured this week. So I'd probably say they're sort of the ones.
Archer. Yeah, I'd say Lascelles, Archer, and
because he's only put 13 players there. But yeah, would you play Adingra over Archer?
I'd probably play Archer over Adingra, possibly.
Yeah, same.
But it's very 50-50. It just depends on how much you rate Brighton's attack against Spurs. Like Spurs do give up a few chances. They gave up a few chances last week, but it just depends on whether you back Brighton finishing those chances or you back Archer getting, one or two really good chances against Luton.
No, I agree. Christian, so the boys might say different, but I'm planning Trippier to Stones if Trippier doesn't perform. Funnily enough, I actually don't mind that. I was looking at Stones instead of Trent for my team this game week because I looked at it and I thought if Rodri's actually injured, they might put Stones back in that midfield role like they did in the World Club final, and then it gives Stones a run in the team in midfield. And he managed to get a lot of bonus and some goals and assists in that role last year, but I didn't do it because I just thought I don't want to get involved in Pep and his games. Although they've got Sheffield United in the next game week and it's a good fixture, but yeah. And then I heard Rodri was fit, so but look, if it's for the sake of going Trippier to Stones, I don't think it's a bad idea as long as you've got Pedro Porro already, because I think Porro is a better pick than Stones.
I agree. I think if you got Porro, I don't mind that. But yeah, if you don't have Porro, I like Porro over Stones because Stones could definitely play in that midfield role, like you said, but he also could not be playing at all. So,
no, I agree. Bowen or Watkins? This is interesting because United haven't been great, so you'd probably say Watkins actually has the better fixture, and he does like his goals away. But then at the same time, Bowen is so consistent. So Bowen for me, just because of his consistency and he attracts bonus points. Villa do have these away games where they just don't show up as well sometimes. I know they've been good this season, but we saw away at Forest, away at Brent. Well, they did win the Brentford game, but there's Brentford did get 10 men, but there's games where sometimes they sort of turn up away and it doesn't quite click. So whereas West Ham, they always, like Q said earlier, they give it a go every game. So I reckon Bowen for me.
This is a tough one.
It is
Because
tough.
I was actually this week, if I was getting in Haaland, I was going to actually take Watkins out of my side for Haaland this week over Jesus and Solanke. So, I'd probably back Bowen. I feel like Villa, like you said, can be very Jekyll and Hyde away from home. It can, 1 week be really good or 1 week just be very horrible. So, and I think Man United need to do something. And I've been saying it for like 4 weeks now, I think, on your stream, my own podcast. They need to do something. But
They need to turn up.
yeah, like I could definitely see them trying to minimize the damage in this game, which could make it hard for Villa. So I might say Bowen. Actually, I'm gonna agree. I'll go with Bowen.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, let's actually quickly do Man United Villa. I actually think that's a good point by Q. I think United are gonna do everything they can to make sure they don't lose at home again. It's going to be similar to what we saw from United at Anfield, where they're probably gonna focus on not conceding and just trying to nick a goal. So yeah, I actually think United might. Villa are a good side though. They attack. I think United might scrape a draw. I think they might get a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. And I think with it being that type of game, you can afford to bench Watkins and play Bowen. And yeah, I don't think there's much else to really cover in this game from an FPL perspective. There's no United players right now that are really doing it for me. And then Villa, like if you got Watkins, you got no one else. You obviously play him and you play your Villa players. But yeah, I think Q's right. I think United are just trying to limit any damage to their team right now. So yeah, what do you think for the score prediction on this one, Q?
I'm going to say 2-1 to United. It's the last time I'm going to back us to get a result. But yeah, I think that we're going to need to do something because if we lose at home again, there's going to be riots in the street. I guarantee that. And I'm numb to the disappointment now as a United fan. I've sort of been numb for the last season and a half, but I think they're going to have to do something. They're going to probably make it a bit harder for Villa to do what, we see them do most weeks. And I actually think that we can possibly get a result this game. And, one player from United I think is a nice enabler is Garnacho. Should have had a goal last week. I'm not sure how he missed that chance. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I think he's been getting into great positions, and I think he's our biggest goal threat. So depends what United show up, and hopefully we're playing a bit better defensive line than the one we played in the previous week with the 18-year-old anchored in by Johnny Evans. So yeah, I mean Watkins could be a great pick if that's the center defensive pairing this week. It could be an absolute field day. So yeah, but I'm backing United to get something.
Yeah, big game that is. It's going to be interesting to see the outcome in that game. Let's go through more questions. We've had a lot come in, so we'll get through these questions because deadline is in 20 minutes. Zada's got Son, Salah, Adingra, all are off because of cups. Should I start getting rid of them? I think if you can bench one of Son and Salah for a few weeks, because they might not last the tournament. So I think if you can bench at least one of them, and I don't think Adingra is actually that crucial. So yeah, I think it's just about trying to find ways to prioritize which ones you're going to want to have back in your team anyway. So probably say like sell one of Son or Salah, bring one of them back, and then Adingra I think you can sell. We'll go on to a few more questions. FPL Aguero, hope you're good, mate. Yeah, my day's been good, mate. Been pretty relaxed. Let us know what your dilemma is. I think you've actually posted it, so we'll quickly answer that in a sec. This is Wrestling Film. Hope he's good. Yeah, I reckon there will be a goal fest today, and he's tempted to switch out Nunes for Nkunku as just getting so annoyed by Nunes. I actually don't think that's a bad shout. You were saying earlier, Q, that Nkunku obviously scored against Wolves, so I actually think that's not a bad move at all, to be honest, because like Chelsea need to find goals, and I do think he'll come in the side and actually find a few goals for Chelsea. So yeah, what do you think on that, Nunes to Nkunku?
I like it. I really like Nkunku. I myself want to wait another week or two before I go in on Nkunku, just because I want to see the fitness and whether he's going to get the minutes, like starting. But
that's the other thing as well.
I like it, and I think in this comparison, like Nunes is in the same position as Nkunku, but he's not injured. So I think there's a bit more upside if Nkunku, to be honest. I think I could definitely see him getting something in this fixture against Palace.
No, I like it. I like it. FPL Aguero, he had 2 free transfers with 2.5 million in the bank. So he can wildcard in game week 20, but he hasn't used it. Do I go Ruben and Palmer to Trent and Townsend, or Archer and Ruben to Nkunku and Senesi? Ugh. Well, because you're wildcarding in game week 20, I honestly think you need to go Trent and Townsend, because Trent's the best player for this game week from any of those players. And then Townsend away at Sheffield United isn't a bad shout, especially because he scored in the last game week. And it kind of gives you a huge differential. Whereas Archer is in that same fixture. And then, Nkunku and Senesi. Senesi has a good fixture. Nkunku, like you said, you never know what his minutes are actually going to be because he's returning from injury. Probably is a high chance he starts this game, but I think Trent's way more important, especially because you're wildcarded next week. So, I think the first two for me. And then wildcard, you can kind of focus more on, do we know from this game week if Nkunku is going to be someone I really need? So, I'd be going the Trent and Townsend move. What do you reckon, Q?
Yeah, no, I agree as well. I think with the wild card, as you said, planning to use it in week 20, I think definitely that's a great pick because, like you said, Trent's got a great fixture. Townsend could definitely get a return in that fixture as well. So, yeah, I like it.
I love it. John 2 is predicting a Burnley upset. FPL Pulisic, welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you're good. Do we know how far KDB is? It looks like he's back in training. I'd honestly think he's going to be starting to creep back into that Man City lineup from sort of mid to end of Gen, mate, to be honest. And City will go on their usual end of season, win every game, title charge, and De Bruyne will be a big part of that. We've got some big team news updates. FPL Aguero just come in with the team news. He may have, I'm assuming he probably got this from Will, NUFC Will. And we've got news that Callum Wilson has actually been benched. So me and Q were sort of saying Wilson is the pick, but you've got to go Isaac now. Isaac's been confirmed to play. But there's also more news. And Anthony Gordon starts. So if you've got Anthony Gordon, he starts his fixture. So every time he seems to have an injury knock or a fitness doubt, he finds his way into the Newcastle lineup. Question for you, Q. Do you think this now makes Anthony Gordon a captain option for this game week?
No.
They still don't think, don't think he's a captain option. He's got a great. Most of his returns this season have been at St James's Park.
Yeah, I think he's a great pick for this week. I could definitely see him scoring, but I just looking at him compared to like a Solanke, I'd have Solanke over him. If I was comparing probably Son to him, I'd probably have Son as well. I'd have Salah, Trent, but I think a differential. Definitely, I'd put him alongside, maybe a Richarlison as differential pick for this week. But I just don't know. Gordon's the type of player where I could see him getting an assist or a goal, but then say like a Trippier or a Wilson or Isak that get, a goal, could see them sort of outshining him for the bonus, where he could just finish with 5 or 6 points this week, and you could see the likes of a Trent 15 plus or a Salah 10 plus or even a Solanke 12 plus or something like that.
No, fair call there by Q. I think it definitely makes a lot of sense. Watch it, drink it in. Ødegaard and Solanke would both get at least 8 points. And who do you prefer, Trippier, Trent, or both? I've heard a lot of people talking Ødegaard up for this game week. So, it feels like he's due some FPL points. And obviously, Solanke, he's a man on fire. Who do I prefer? Like, if I had to pick between Trippier or Trent, it's Trent and then Trippier. But if I could play both and I own both, I would play and own both players for this game week. So I hope that answers your question, Q. Trent or Trippier or both?
Just Trent. And I love Ødegaard. I'm actually looking at him being my midfield replacement. Obviously, I'm going to have to move on from probably Jesus for Haaland, depending on obviously how Watkins is going. And I'm looking at Ødegaard instead of Saka as my midfield pick. So, I like the Ødegaard pick. And, Solanke, I think, massive points this week, I think.
Yeah, Saka's been a bit of a letdown lately. Like, I've had him in my team. It's probably one of those, you look at it with Saka and you think, maybe this is the time people start to think about selling him, and he starts getting the points. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Please get your questions in as well. We're 15 minutes from deadline. We are going through all the questions now. We normally finish off the fixtures, but we'll probably just go through the questions until deadline. Please subscribe if you're new here. If you're watching on Twitter or on Twitch, come onto the YouTube, hit the subscribe, give the video a like, and go check out Q's channel as well, at FPL Amateurs Oz. You can see his tag there on the screen. So go and check out his Twitter, his podcast, his YouTube, everything as well. So we'll go to our next question. FP Pulisic, he wants us just to rate his team. So he's gone Dubravka in goal, and then he's got a back line of Trippier, Sensi, Gabriel, and Porro. Then he's got Hwang, Salah, Son, Saka in midfield. And then he's got Solanke and Haaland. And then if Haaland doesn't play, he's got Archer. I'd say that's a strong 9 out of 10. Maybe 8.5 because Trent, not having Trent could be difficult this week. But you've got Porro, you've got Trippier, you've got Sensi, Salah, Son, Solanke. They cover everything. You've got Hwang away at Brentford for Wolves, which is a nice pick. Kind of goes under the radar, that guy. So yeah, I'd give it a strong sort of 8.5 to 9 for this game week. What do you reckon on that, Q?
Yeah, I don't mind this side actually. Obviously, if Newcastle get the clean sheet, you're going to be cheering because it's going to be bonus for Trippier and possibly save points for Dubravka. And then Hwang, this is a fixture, a Brentford fixture where it could finish 1-1, 2-1 or something like that, and you can see Hwang getting an assist or a goal. So I don't mind that pick for this game week. And then obviously you got Salah, Son, Saka. And if Haaland plays, you're absolutely cheering because not a lot of people will probably start him or have him this week. So it could be a nice bit of a rank boost for you at a player that's probably still 40% plus owned, but you still get a nice little swing there. But yeah, I like Archer on the bench as that first sub option as well, because like we said, it's not a great fixture, but if you got Archer, you're probably, playing him if you need to. And I think you could definitely do a job and get points. So yeah, I like the side. I think you'd do good this week.
Yeah, it's a strong side. Actually, just as Q was saying that, I just had a quick look. Haaland's now 60% owned, which is it's pretty crazy when you think he was 90-something% owned, and then now he's gone down to 60. So yeah, crazy stuff. So if he does appear and plays this weekend and scores, you are going to be laughing. Janez, Douglas Luiz to Richarlison. If you can make that move, make that move. We obviously didn't cover the Spurs game. But Brennan Johnson's another one that Q's mentioned, was involved in lots of attacks last week, got 2 assists. We both get this feeling he's going to score this game week. So I actually think Brennan Johnson's actually not a bad little pick either, because he's similar sort of price range to Douglas Luiz. But yeah, tricky. Who would you pick, Q? Douglas Luiz to Richarlison? Or would you back maybe going Kulusevski or Brennan Johnson?
Sorry, Douglas Luiz to Richarlison. As I said, I think Brennan Johnson's a better option. I think with the fitness that he's showing now, he was a little bit questionable at the start of the season when he did play, but he looked really good last week, got into great positions, and that ball to Richarlison for his goal was ridiculous. And Richarlison, yes, he's getting the goals, but he's also not getting a whole of a lot of creativity and getting those chances created, which I think Brennan Johnson's been doing lately. So I think we could see a game where Richarlison might score, but you might see Brennan Johnson with a goal and assist and maybe 3 bonus. So
yeah, I think Richarlison's minutes are kind of being managed a little bit since he's returned from his surgery. So you might get yourself another Richarlison goal, but I think Johnson, he has a little bit of extra upside as well that Q mentioned, and also his price. Siddharth has asked, Hechan to Son / Richarlison for a free transfer. Have to get back Haaland when he's available. I'd probably still, I know we just spoke about Richarlison and Brennan Johnson then. I'd probably lean more towards a Brennan Johnson, Richarlison, Kulusevski move as opposed to Son, because Son's obviously going to go away for the Asia Cup. So, I think you'd probably pick one of the other Spurs players right now if you're not wildcarding next week.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, you want to look at those 3 options because obviously Son's going to be gone next week, and I think he's going to be out for the longest because I could see South Korea reaching the semi-finals of the Asia Cup, or even the final, so he could miss like 3 to 4 games. So,
yeah, I was thinking the same. I looked at South Korea's group for the Asia Cup, and they'll go pretty deep into the comp, which is annoying because I wanted him to to be back as soon as possible for Spurs. Lexich, welcome to the stream. Definitely play Konsa over Lascelles this week. Lascelles is not in the lineup this week. I don't even think he's in the squad. Siddharth, Dubravka, or David Raya. I'd still go Dubravka. I think the fixture's better for him. Siddharth, there's 2 free transfers, Dubravka to Raya or Hechan to Son Richardson. I think, like we were saying before, mate, go with the... you know what? Now looking at it, I'd probably even just play Hechan away at... I'd probably play Hechan away at Brentford. And then I'd probably use the other transfer elsewhere. Like if you don't have Trent, Porro, Solanke, I'd just try and get one of them in. I probably wouldn't bother making that transfer. We'll go on to the next question. We'll get you to answer this one, Q. He's stuck between choosing Gakpo or Nunes. What is your opinion?
I want to say Gakpo. Nunes is just too frustrating. I feel like a part of you will think, Nunes heaps of upside, but I think Gakpo doesn't need a lot of chances to score, and I think he's a bit more clinical than what Nunes is, and I have a feeling that Gakpo is going to start this week up top as well. So I like him, and he has a bit more flexibility. He can play out left, right as well, whereas Nunes is up top, and that's it. So I think Gakpo for me is probably a better pick.
Yeah, I agree with Q. I think Gakpo, he always seems to pop up and score a goal. Siddharth got Trippier, Saliba, Porro, Walker, Salah, Gordon, Saka, Hechan, Watkins, Solanke, Anana, Archer, Palmer, with 2 free transfers and 6.7 in the bank. Okay, so he's actually put his team down. If you could go... Yeah, looking at it, maybe you do go with the extra Spurs player. I do think Hechan's got a good fixture. The other thing you could do is you could just downgrade Watkins, play Archer, and then upgrade one of your defenders like Walker for Trent this week. That could be your other option, mate. You've got a strong side anyway. Well, this is a good one. FPL Aguero. Do I start Townsend or Archer? Well, Q did say this game, he thinks he's got kind of a 1-1 type of thing written all over it. But I'd probably still, if I had those players, I'd edge towards Townsend because I think Luton, they definitely attack games more than Sheffield United. So even though Sheffield United are at home. But yeah, so Townsend for me. What do you reckon, Q, between these two?
Probably Townsend, I think.
Townsend? Yeah, I think Townsend as well. Can I use my first wild card for game week 20? Yes, you can. It's the last week you've got to use it. So, you've got to make sure it's used by game week 20. So, yeah, you can, mate. Thoughts on Trent captaincy over Salah? I don't mind it. I'm still going to go towards Salah because I'm happy to chase the goals that I think Salah will score. And there's always a option of a clean sheet being taken away from Trent. But Q was thinking differently earlier. You're kind of preferring Trent to captain over Salah, aren't you?
I'm actually going to renege on what I said. I think I want to go Salah. I'm just
Salah.
looking at it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Salah, but yeah, I'll be filthy if Trent gets the clean sheet, 3 bonus and an assist or something like that. But it's a tough decision. I think you just weigh up whether you think, I guess, Burnley is going to cause them too many problems. If they're not going to cause them too many problems, I think by far Trent's a great pick. But I think if you're a bit worried of whether they can keep the clean sheet, I'd go favour the attacking player for that reason that you mentioned, Matty.
Yeah, no, and I think Salah's one of them. Like, you don't want to be turning on that game, and then Salah bangs in a couple of goals, and you're just like, "What have I done?" So, I'd stay safe this week. Zada, play Taylor or Diego Carlos? It's got to be Diego Carlos. Away at United, there's potential for that to be a Villa win. So, that's what I would do. With 6 minutes till deadline, so if you've just tuned in, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And get your last minute questions in. Jamie Jimbo, who do I captain? I've got Erdegaard, Salah, Alvarez, Solanke, Watkins. I fancy going against the grain and captain Erdegaard. Look, I think if you're going to go safety, then you go Salah, Solanke are the first two, And then if you're going to go differential, then you go Odegaard. So, I think if you like you said, if you fancy going against the grain, Odegaard's a really solid differential captain option this week. But if you're a little bit too scared, then you go Salah or Solanke. Maybe you could even edge more towards going against the grain with Solanke as captain, and then, what do you reckon, Q, on this one? They're all good options.
I think if you're going to go against the grain, it'd be Solanke or Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, are the two that I'd go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I think Odegaard's a good sign-in for the game week, but captain might be a little bit too far of a stretch. Should I sell Haaland for Solanke? I would, and then I would find a way to bring Haaland back in the next game week if we get news that he's going to play, or obviously in a couple of game weeks' time. Let's go on to a few more comments. 4 minutes till deadline. Lexic, 21 points on your bench. Mate, I had exactly the same. I had Archer, Areola, and Charlie Taylor. And I was never going to play Areola. So I only lost 5 points because Dubravka got 3 points anyway. Archer was probably the one I was a bit kind of more gutted about, but then I was always going to play Anthony Gordon in that midfield, who got 2 points. So I lost another 6. That's 11. And then Charlie Taylor got 6. And then Matt Cash only got 1. So I lost 5 points. So I would have gained 16 points if I'd played those bench players. But again, Matt Cash was 5 minutes away from a 9-pointer. So, it's just the way it goes sometimes, mate. That's why you can kind of use that bench boost on any given week. Maserio, welcome to the stream, mate. Darwinton and Cuckoo, watching from South Africa. That's awesome, mate. Subscribe if you're new. It's always great to see people from all over the world watching. I think we've had a few other South African viewers before. So, that's absolutely awesome, mate. Let us know in the comments who you support. But Q, would you make this move, Darwinton and Cuckoo? I'd probably wait a week on it. You would make it?
Yeah. As I said, it's tough because they're both in the same predicament. They both could be on the bench this week, but one's on the bench just because, and the other one's obviously coming back from injury. But from the highlights or the bits of the Chelsea game I did see, Nkunku didn't look too bad. He actually looked a lot sharper than I thought he would. So I'm going to say, Nkunku this week, do it.
There you go. Q says do it. Get it done. Christian, Sheffield United starting to intrigue me with Wilder back. They look more resolute. I reckon it's always been known to grind out those sort of results. So if you got if you think, I think it's Bulldog's fit to play, you can probably just play Bulldog. Fotheringham's probably going to get a huge return this week in goal. Any Newcastle early news yet? Wilson's benched. Lascelles is not playing. Isaac is starting and Anthony Gordon is starting. So 2 minutes till deadline. If you've got any last minute questions, get them in. We will wrap up the stream once deadline is done, but quickly get any last minute questions in. Christian sticking Son for captain. He's put it on Solanke. Then remember the video Son did recently for the Premier League and reverse it back to Son. That's what FPL is all about, mate. Pick players that you want to captain, and Son's obviously a great guy. Plays for the team we support. So get that captain's armband on him, mate. But if no other questions come in the next minute, then we won't answer them. So let's quickly go through our transfers and our captains. So Q, who is your captain for this game week?
At the moment, I got the captaincy on Salah and I got the VC on Solanke. As I said, I think Solanke's a great pick this week, but I'm tempted just to stick with Salah this week and made the 2 transfers this week. So I bought in Trent Alexander-Arnold for Lamptey and I bought in Brennan Johnson for Lo Celso. So pretty happy with those as well.
No, good moves. And my captain's armband is also on Salah with the vice captain on Son. And then I've brought in Trent for Tsimikas, which was a bit of a pain. I wanted to not have to bring anyone in this game week. And the Tsimikas injury forced me into a move. But it's forced me into a player that I'm probably going to want to keep for a long time now. So I'm going to have to work out a time and how to bring, obviously I'll bring Haaland back in when he's fit and then work out a time to bring back one of Son or Salah when I sell them in January. So that's a question for another time. Deadline's now passed. So good luck everyone for game week 19. If you have any other questions about Game Week 20 or anything, quickly get them in now, because it is a very quick turnaround from Game Week 19 to Game Week 20. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in tonight as well. Really appreciate all the support. Also, go and check FPL Amateurs of Oz out. Quinton, you can see his tag there on the screen right now. So go and check him out. You can find him on Twitter, YouTube as well. He's got a website. He's on Instagram. I don't think there's a platform Q's not on. So go check him out. Just Google him everywhere. We'll bring up a couple of quick comments as well.
Could find my MySpace.
Yeah, he might find his MySpace. Good luck, guys. WB, he took a hit for Foden. He's chasing upside. So,
mate, I love it, mate. We're not here to just play to be serious. We're here to sort of have a bit of fun as well. And nothing beats a pick like that where you chase a bit of upside and Foden comes out, scores 20 points, and no one else has him, and you're laughing. So I love it.
Yeah, it's good. FPL has become a little bit too serious the last few years, with everyone kind of copying everyone's sort of teams and playing a bit template. So it's good to see those moves. Good luck as well, mate. Good luck to everyone that's tuned in. Any final words for the Game Week Q? Any Big Ange propaganda? Anything you want to say before we leave the stream? Because we didn't get to finish off our we didn't get to finish our team review. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share screen, and we're just going to do score predictions now because the deadline's gone. So let's just finish off with our score predictions, because I need to get Q's Spurs prediction as well. We can't leave a stream without a Big Ange ball prediction. So we'll go Brentford. What did you say in United Villa? You said 2-1 United, didn't you? Okay, so what do you think of Brentford Wolves?
I'll say 1-1.
1-1. Chelsea Palace.
I think Chelsea 2-0.
2-0. All right, I'm going to go 1-1 in Brentford Wolves as well. Chelsea Palace, I'm going to go with 2-0 Palace. I can see an upset. 2-1.
I hope
2-1
so.
Palace.
I hope so.
I just got this feeling it's just not looking good for Chelsea after the other day. And Palace are one of those teams.
I might change. I'm going to say 1-1 because I didn't realise Sterling and Palmer are both missing for Chelsea.
That's huge. Yeah, Palace are one of those teams that can just pull up a result like they did against City a few weeks ago. I want to go 2-1. Palace, Everton City. Everton really impressing lately. They were so good against Spurs the other day. Lots of good wins. City coming all the way back from the Club World Cup. Goodison Park crowd. I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to say 2-0. I think Everton are going to make Man City work for it. It wouldn't surprise me if it's 1-0 for a big part of this game, and then City get a second goal in 80+ minutes.
No, that's a good prediction. Brighton versus Spurs. I'm going to back my team. Look, Brighton play great football, good side. They can beat anyone on any given day. But I think with some of the players Spurs will get back, like Udogie, and the way that Kulusevski, Richarlison have kind of just clicked lately, and Sarr's been playing really well in midfield. I think we're going to come out and win this by 2 goals. I'd say 2-0, but sometimes we do concede the odd late goal. So I'll go 2-0 with a late scare at 2-1. And I can see Son with a goal and Brennan Johnson to provide a return. Q, what are you thinking?
I want to say 4-1 to Spurs.
4-1. Wow. Love it.
Love Big Ange instead, mate. Big Ange.
And you'd be pretty happy with Big Ange. Obviously, I'm buzzing off Big Ange, but there was a lot of predictions that he was going to get sacked by Christmas, and we're on the 26th of December, and I'm pretty sure he's not been sacked yet.
No, I think a lot of people, had Christmas ham for, the Christmas holidays and everything, but Ange is serving up a big piece of humble pie for all you Talk Sport critics. So enjoy your humble pie, and I'm sure there's going to be leftovers after he demolishes Brighton this week.
Yeah, and Ange's he's been doing very well at Spurs. Great football as well. And then last game of the week, Arsenal West Ham, a derby. West Ham can pull results. They know how to pull up results, but Emirates has been a tricky one for them down the years. I can see goals. I think Arsenal will edge it 3-1.
I'm going to say 3-2 to Arsenal.
3-2. Yeah, there's going to be a good game. West Ham is just one of those places they they can do well at home against Arsenal, but away it's just they never seem to like pull up trees at the Emirates. So both of us are
Arsenal have a
3
few
goals.
lapses in defensive late, so if they have a lapse and the likes of a Kudus or a Bowen get that ball in that area on the lapse of judgment from the defense, from Arsenal's point of view, I could definitely see them scoring.
It's going to be one of those game weeks where I'm probably looking quite good. And then Arsenal, West Ham play, and then Bowen and Kudus score, who I don't have, and then Odegaard scores. And I'm just thinking like, this game's killing me. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll bring up the last 2 comments. So yeah, that's it, mate. It's all about having some fun and watching the game with a bit more of an interest. Masario has asked us, do we think Newcastle will win today? Well, Q, you were saying you were going 2-0?
Yeah, no, I've also got a bit of a parlay on as well. So I've went and hashtag gamble responsibly, but Newcastle United into Isak to get a goal or an assist. So yeah, I think Newcastle will win. I think they've needed to sort of get some results of late. Obviously, seeing how well Aston Villa have been doing, Man United, Man City, they want to keep tabs on that top 5. So I think they're going to get a win.
Yeah, I said 2-2 because I feel a new manager bounce from Forest, and Newcastle have a lot of injuries, but whenever Isaac's in the team, especially in these sort of home games, he always seems to score some pretty big points and some big goals. So, yeah, they're favourites. They've got a higher chance of winning than Forest. But yeah, maybe I'll back the draw just for something a bit different. But look, we'll leave it there. Deadline's passed. As I mentioned earlier, thanks to everyone that's tuned in. Thanks to Q for coming onto the stream again. Good luck, everyone, for the game week. I'm sure we'll be back for game week 20 content before Saturday's deadline as well. So yeah, we'll try and get some more stuff done. Q, do you have a podcast lined up before game week 20?
Yeah, I should have a podcast next week. Obviously with the turnaround and obviously it being Christmas for us, I was in a food coma / ready for a bed at about 8:30 last night. So Damo and me decided that we not pod this week, but we should be back next week. But yeah, it could be possibly have a guest on because Damo is sort of MIA for the next couple of weeks. I think he's going bush for some camping over Christmas. So we'll have sort of some guests on the next few weeks, but we should have a pod out.
Nice, mate. That's good to hear. And hope you're good, John. Yeah, we're good, mate. We just we're ready to leave the channel now for to get ready for the game week. But yeah, good luck to you as well. Good luck to everyone that's tuned in. We'll leave it there. Like I mentioned, subscribe if you're new. Check out Q's content as well at FPLMattDay. Good luck again. We'll see you all ready for game week 20 in a couple of days. And I hope you all had a good Christmas and a happy New Year as well. Bye for now.